Yo, so in this video, man, we're just gonna jump straight into it, right? This is gonna be the problem I have with the Democrat Party, right? And me personally, I'm not a Democrat. I'll probably never be a Democrat again until they prove themselves worthy. So here's my problem with Democrats, right? For about 4 years now, before we even get started with this, Democrats and Republican, anyone who says they're two wings of the same bird, that is a flat out lie. Don't let anyone tell you they're two wings to the same bird, because the bird I've been seeing flying around here for 4 years is a different bird than the other party's bird. And that's just the cold, honest truth. So that whole little saying, for real, is just to make you ignore reality in front of your eyes and not acknowledge what you see around you. You know, it doesn't matter how much bad the Democrats do or the Republicans, whichever party, but we're specifically talking about Democrats now. It doesn't matter how bad they do, they want to try to, oh, it's just the same bird. It's just different flavors of the same meal. Like, no, that's not what it is. I myself in 2016 voted for Hillary Clinton, and I only did that because when I went to the poll, I said, I know nothing about politics. Now, mind you, 2016, I was a freshman in college. I didn't know anything about politics, and I was like, you know what? Black people usually vote Democrat, which was very ignorant of me to say. But because I didn't know anything, I was like, hey, it is what it is. I'm voting Democrat. So, I knew that, Obama was president at one point, now it was, about Hillary Clinton versus Trump. But like I said, back then, I didn't really look at politics. So when it came down for time for me to make my own decisions, in 2020, I voted for Trump. I felt like the Lord was backing Trump, and, I was praying every day, and it was like, in my head, I thought he was really going to win. I would pray, I would see what's happening in America. I'm like warning people what's going to happen if Biden wins versus Trump. Because I was fully awakened. God had literally removed all the scales from my eyes, and he was like, hey, this is what it is. And I was like, hey, Trump finna win it. And then Trump didn't win. And I'm like, wait a second. You're telling me a man who sat in his basement all this campaign trail had the most votes in history, and yet now 4 years later, even a year after he won, I didn't see a single Biden-Harris flag, sticker, people online tweeting about it. I didn't see none of that. And 4 years later, I don't hear anybody supporting this man. So I'm just like, I don't get it. So, to me personally, when it came time for the whole election, and people could say it was stolen, it was this, it was that, regardless of what you think, there was a Time magazine article coming out saying they created a shadow campaign. Mark Zuckerberg was censoring with the FBI. Jack from Twitter was censoring with the FBI. So they had a whole bunch of these shadow campaigns and stuff, so that way Trump wouldn't win. So in my eyes, I'm like, hey, that's still kind of cheating. Because how you gonna create a whole coalition, change the rules, the voting box, mail-in ballots and everything, and then say, oh, we won? That's weird. But I'm just going to leave that there. But in my eyes, I really did, think Trump would win. And for 4 years now, all we have been seeing is news about Trump. To be honest, if Trump wasn't someone who the media is constantly going after, which the media is the main problem I see with America. The media pushes so many lies and propaganda, and it's only for one party. If you look at the news, remove your bias, remove what team you consider yourself, it's only from one side of the political aisle. And it is what it is. Like I said, you would think Trump was president, they talk about him so much. But it's Biden. I have no clue what Biden has done at all. And Biden has slowly but surely turned into an elder and is struggling on stage with whatever type of disease he has. They said dementia. Now they're saying, he may have Parkinson's. I don't know what Biden has. Whatever he has, I don't want him as president with it. And Biden can't even talk in front of people. If you look at the country right now, at one point gas prices were through the roof, the highest ever. They were like $5 here in Georgia. Out in Cali, they were like $8. I drive a premium car and I'm like, dog, I didn't even vote for this. I didn't vote for this. I voted for Trump in 2020. So everything that's happening to people in America now, it's affected me too, even when I didn't vote for this. That's the crazy part. You don't really realize till you're older how much policies and presidents or these different legislations really matter to you as an individual until you're out on your own paying for the stuff yourself. And then you're like, I'm losing a lot of money rapidly out my pocket. I probably need to think about the policies that I'm voting on. And so for me, I'm like, I didn't vote for none of this. I don't want to even be affected. If it was a way for reality to where you choose your political candidate, however their policies are, it only applies to you because you voted for them, I bet you and I guarantee a lot of people would have switched their votes to Trump this time around in 2024. But hey, it is what it is. But you know, for those of us who see everything happening, you know, God's removed the scales from your eyes. We all see what America has come to, and we all see the direction it is going. Like I said, if you just look around you, gas was $5 at some point. The stock market was tanking. Food prices are high. Rent prices are high. Mortgage is high. Car notes are high. Everything's high. And then they tell you, no, it's not high. We have the best and most robust economy. The stock market's doing great. Prices are falling every day. Literally just lying to the people right in front of you. That's all the Democrats do. Lie, lie, lie. The media backs them up and say, we have the best economy ever. You know, Biden inherited a terrible economy and turned it around to be better. And it's like, in what world did Biden do that? People say we have the most jobs ever being made. And it's like, I see people getting fired from their jobs every day. I work downtown and I see people getting fired from my job. I'm like, yo, and then nobody's hiring, nobody's giving raises or bonuses. There's no money being given out. People are struggling. Every day people are struggling. I even seen a video from this dude who bought some groceries from Instacart or something like that. And he came back 3 years later and there's a button on there that says rebuy everything in your cart, right? This man rebuys everything in his cart and the total is now 4 times higher or 3 times higher than it was back when Trump was president.
I just looked through my Walmart history and I found this Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more. How the fuck? How? What?
And what's crazy is 3 years ago, which was 3 or 4 years ago, actually now at this point, which was 2020 when Biden first got in office, everybody who was paying attention said prices are going to skyrocket. I even put up a YouTube video showing people, look guys, I'm stocking up. I went to Food Depot. I'm like, look guys, I'm stocking up on resources because I see what's going on. I want my family to be able to have when prices get so high and all the resources are gone. Here's a video so you guys can maybe do what I'm doing and be prepared, right? And so when it came time for it during the year, my family had food, we had seasoning, pasta, dried canned fruits and vegetables. They were like, yo, it came in such clutch because even though they made fun of me for it when I was doing it, when it came time for those resources to be used, guess who were the first people to need some of the resources? My family. But hey, it's family, so you know, it is what it is. I even had a year's supply of water, and God had showed me all that. He was like, make this YouTube video, but you know, for people who didn't realize and they're suffering on those prices, you know, I felt bad for them because it's like, you've been tricked. Buyer's remorse is crazy. But then at the same time, I'm like, you guys cha-cha slid in the street. You all said, oh, you guys are demonic. You guys are evil for voting for Trump. You guys are this and that. But yet, whenever I'm looking around, I don't see anybody supporting Biden or the Democrats. And for me, it's like, nah, you gonna follow through. You need to be the main one. Whoever voted for Biden and Democrats, from 2020 to now, I'm like, you need to be standing up. You need to say you love high prices. You need to say you love high taxes. You need to say you love interest rates. You need to stand up and own everything that Biden is doing now, because that's what you want. You need to stand up and say you love the open border. You love illegals getting more rights, privileges, jobs, money, insurance, everything to you. You need to say it with your chest, Biden supporters. I need you guys to stand up and make your voices heard and say, yes, Biden, this is exactly what we wanted from you. And what's crazy is they keep doing all this stuff against the people. And it's like, at some point, people aren't going to own houses. You aren't going to be able to own an apartment. You're not going to be able to own your own car. And they'll literally be like, you'll own nothing and be happy. That's literally the goal that they're trying to go towards. You will own nothing and be happy. And like they keep telling you, that's exactly where a lot of people are ending up. They're owning nothing and they're fake being happy. They're like, oh, like, I guess this is how life is. You know, they're just kind of throwing in the towel. And for me, that isn't going to work for me. It ain't going to work for the Lord, because trusting in the Lord, he's going to provide everything you need, you know, when you need it. And for those who don't understand that, I guess the owning nothing and be happy is going to be the new motto. And most of the time they tell you what they're going to do before they do it. And most people don't even believe them. Like I said, they just vote party lines just because they feel like they're loyal to the party, even though none of the stuff makes sense what they're doing. But then let's talk about when it comes to Trump. Everything they said about Trump and everything they said Trump would do, they have literally been doing. They said Trump would be a dictator. They put people in jail. Biden's doing that. The DOJ is doing it. They said prices would be high. Prices are actually high now. They said, you know, there won't be any new wars when they take office. We got Afghanistan that we butchered. We have Ukraine and Russia. We have Israel and Palestine. And it's just like, I'm not understanding how could all this take place. But when you have weak leadership and others see, they capitalize. Then, you know, Biden repealed mostly everything Trump signed when he was in office the first 3 months. Y'all remember when Biden became president and they literally showed Biden sitting down at the Oval Office, literally signing 32 executive orders, literally repealing everything Trump did. Now behind the scenes, he's trying to re-implement the stuff that Trump did, like the border. They're trying to close the border. They keep talking about Trump and talking about Trump. And now they're talking about black jobs. And it's like, Trump said the whole black jobs comment. And, you know, individuals like, you know, black people and other people of color, you know, some of them, those who support Trump, you know what Trump was talking about when you talk about black jobs. But for those who don't, they're like, oh, that's racist. What does he mean by that? Like, don't act confused now, bro. Don't act confused. You know exactly what Trump is talking about when he mentions black jobs. All Trump is literally saying is, hey, they're letting in illegals because they're trying to replace you guys. That's it. They're just trying to replace you guys. And you have people like Dr. Umar, who I don't really agree with Dr. Umar on everything he says because he goes too far pro-black, all this extra stuff. But Dr. Umar literally went on The Breakfast Club, I believe, and literally told the truth to black people. And I'll go ahead and roll that clip here.
The bottom line is when Joe Biden got elected, he said he wanted to fast track 4 million undocumented residents to full citizenship. Black people completely ignored it. I spoke on it. I said, do you know why he want to fast track 4 million? Because he know he's not going to do nothing for us. We ain't going to be motivated to vote for him November. So what he's going to do is have these migrants already set up with citizenship so they can replace the black vote that he loses. The migrants are being put in our communities on purpose, New York and Chicago on purpose, because they are what? The two blackest cities in America. They're the two largest cities in America. They're the two most politically conscious black communities in America. So if we can wash out the black with the brown in New York, if we can wash out the black with the brown in Chicago, Philly don't stand a chance. Atlanta don't stand a chance. LA, Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago don't stand a chance. The migrants are here for 3 reasons. Replace us at the polls, replace us at the low-end industry jobs, right? See, when Donald Trump said during the debate that Joe Biden is taking black jobs and giving them to migrants, He was correct. Although he didn't say it because he cared about us, but he's right. When people say, what do you mean by black jobs? Get out your bougie feelings and deal with the reality. 1/3 of black men have a felony. So there's a lot of jobs they will never qualify for. They are mostly what? Essential workers, warehouse, trucking, security. And a lot of those jobs are going to who? The migrants. So that's what he meant by black jobs. We got to stop being so sensitive and look at the reality of it. I was reading a report the other day. They said the Latinos taking over the construction jobs. They taking them over. And the low industry work, like your gardening, your landscaping, completely taking it over. They're not the enemy. The problem is black people don't get as much opportunity. So then people say, well, white people don't really like brown people like that. That's true. But you know what the difference is? They don't have the burden of accountability with them that they have with us. We built the country. So every time they look at us or deal with us, the bottom line is y'all brought them here and they built y'all into what y'all are. They don't have to say that to the Venezuelans. They don't have to say that to the Colombians. They don't have to say that to the Mexicans. So although they don't like brown, they will much rather deal with them than the black, because with the black, there is a white man's burden that you owe them restitution for 246 years of unpaid labor.
And for some reason, I don't understand why black people are so stuck on race. Me, myself, as a black man, it's like I just really wish my people would be freed from the shackles of race, like the race lens, and move on from it, because it has held us back for so long. And I get it. I know that, slavery and things like that happened. And back in the past, yes, things were super racist. There's probably still some undercover racism. Yes, there's still a little systemic racism here and there. But for the most part, in 2024, not the 1920s, not the 1910s, 2024, I do not see how black people are still stuck on race. Like, as an adult, for me personally, right? I am 25 years old. And I am sitting up here like, I don't understand how people can keep blaming everything under the sun for their problems and issues besides themselves. It literally makes no sense to me. Like, you can't keep blaming your childhood for how you acting as an adult. You can't keep blaming racism for why this doesn't happen and that, and you're behind and the white man holding you back. I can name 10 things on my hand that are holding the black community back before we even get close to the white man. And that's personally how I feel, because there's no white man holding me back from doing good at my job. There's no white man holding me back from being able to find resources online or anything like that. So I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, we all fall short of the glory of God, but at some point we have to grab life by the reins and start being in control of our own life, because we can't blame the past for everything. I get it. We've been hurt by the past, but at some point we've got to push forward and make some headway. It makes no sense that black people vote for Democrats at about a 95% clip. How is that possible, bro? How does one group of people vote one way and then expect for the people who they voted for one way for years, like 60, 70, 80 years, to give us anything? They're not. They know you guys are going to vote for them. And the thing about the illegals is, because they know, like the Dr. Umar clip showed, because they know that black people are starting to wake up, that they're not getting nothing, they're letting the illegals in, so that way they can then vote for Biden and them, because I'm going to vote Democrat because they let me come over here for free. And on top of that, it's just like, man, all the stuff they're doing to Trump. They try to throw him to jail. They try to take him to court. They say he's with the, porn stars, and they're paying him this. Then they're saying his housing and stuff is worth less. And that didn't work. Then they try to throw him in jail, and that didn't work. And then just Saturday, they try to kill the man. Like, they shoot into his ear and stuff. It's like, yo, this is crazy. They're actually trying to kill this man. It's just like Andrew Tate said. First you get a warrant, they try to offer you money. When that don't work, they try to throw you in jail. When that don't work, they try to kill you. They do not want you around no more, because you will not sell yourself out to them. And it's these elites, these people in power. Honestly, it's principalities and rulers of darkness and high places, which the Bible warns about. These are dumb people. And people at the rally, Trump's about to almost be assassinated. And I just feel like God, Jesus, the God, because there's only one true and living God, and that's the one that involves Jesus, is protecting Trump. It's like the Bible to me is playing out in real time. Trump to me is like King David, and I believe it was it Saul who was like a fake king? Well, he wasn't a fake king. He didn't listen to God and ended up chasing David around through the mountains and stuff, and David was always escaping. He was throwing javelins at him, and remember, it almost killed David, but David escaped. I feel like it's just like that. Like, Trump is literally being protected by God, having to avoid this Saul or avoid Biden and the Democrats, because not only are they trying to throw him in jail, they're trying to kill him at this point. And it's all, I don't honestly know what it's about. I don't know if they really hate Trump, or they're like, this man goes against everything that we tried to build. He goes against us trying to control the people. He really thinks for himself. He has his own money. He has all these supporters. That's kind of how I feel like it is for Trump. And it's like God uses the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. Like, people who are wise, who know everything, seeing what's happening to Trump, are like, yeah, it's happening to him. He deserves it. And it's like they're being brainwashed by the media, or they just simply don't understand. And it's like they can't see the spiritual things that are happening behind the scenes. And it's like things of the spirit are foolishness to the carnal man. The carnal man will never be able to understand. And it's like, for me, things happen spiritually first, and then they manifest in reality. So I don't really know. I'm at the point where I'm like, how can anybody truly vote to be a Democrat anymore? They didn't even let you guys have a primary. They claim democracy. They're coming for democracy. And yet Biden didn't even have to have anybody run against him to be the Democrat primary. They literally just said, hey, Biden's going to be the primary. Biden's going to be the primary candidate. And that's it. No one else gets to run. They even did that with Bernie Sanders not too long ago. Remember, Bernie Sanders was running. All of a sudden, then they said, nah, Bernie, you're taking a seat. Biden's going to be the one we're putting up there. Or they did it to Hillary. Hillary's going to be the one to be the front runner. I think it was Hillary that did it to Bernie Sanders. It's like these Democrats claim democracy, democracy, democracy. They don't even understand what a democracy is. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about America. They only care about power. That's all they care about, is keeping power. That's why they don't like Trump, because they see that if he gets in office again, they're going to lose all their power. He's going to shrink the federal government. He's going to drain the swamp, and they are scared. They are scared of that. And for me, like I keep saying, I don't see how black people vote for it, because they're the main ones keeping the Democrat Party alive. It's like, if you talk to black people, most black people are conservative on most issues. We don't want to be taxed a lot. We want to keep a lot of money in our pocket. We want reasonable grocery store prices. We help build this country. So you would think, since white people, black people, every people help build this country, everyone would be treated equal because we're all God's children. But it's like, no, we still falling for the same old traps. And most black people don't really agree with the LGBTQ stuff either. And that's the main, Democrats are the main party pushing this weird legislation, this, letting kids get sex surgeries and saying, oh, transgenders can run in women's races and using pronouns and making people lose their job because of it. And it's like, black people, as a black man, we do not care if people are gay. If you're gay, you're gay, be gay. But all the pandering and all the stuff in the schools, we're not really into that. And so it comes across to me, it's like, why as black people are we conservative in our ideas and our day to day, but then we vote for liberal progressive ideas? And the only thing I see, black people getting stuck on is skin color. We literally put people in positions of power literally because they're black. And yet those same people they vote for to be in a position of power, they are literally the same people whose policies destroy the black community. I mean, it's happening in New York. It's happening in Chicago. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense. All those people are black, and they're the most woke people out. They're literally the most woke. And so I literally just don't understand it. Like, you're literally voting for the same people you complain about, and then you're wondering what's going on. And it's like, Come on, man. Me personally, I'm an independent. Like I said, in 2016, I voted for Hillary because I said, black people vote Democrat because I was ignorant at the time. 2020, I voted for Trump, who ran me for Republican. And I don't even consider Trump a Republican. Trump to me is a common sense, God's just backing me up as a president. And if you know the fruits of the spirit and you know God personally, you can see the hand of God at play behind Trump. Not only from him almost being assassinated recently, but everything else, the court cases that are being thrown out left and right. They're trying to come after him through all these different avenues and channels and this, and yet he still gains support over and over and over and over and over. And it's like, for me personally, if I see God backing something up, I'm like, maybe God is trying to show me something that I need to see. If I don't see what God's showing me and I say, you know what? I need to accept the truth. God is showing me this is the candidate I have, and I am going to do the things. I'm going to have my hand over him, protect him, and do the things that I'm going to do to try to get him into a position, because God raises up kings and he tears them down. And so for me, I'm like, hey, I have to just accept what God is doing. Like, I'm not going to try to ruin the move of God. I'm going to go with the move of God. Now, I'm not saying Trump's the biggest Christian or Biden's the biggest Christian, but I'm saying who I see the Lord protecting, there is a higher power protecting Trump. And if you think there's not, then you've clearly mistaken. If you think there's no God, he's not protecting Trump, and Trump's just weaseling his way out of this because he's a billionaire and he has all these people really rallying behind him. No, the whole system is coming after him. So I don't even know how people got to this point where they say, oh, Trump's really, this is a setup, it's staged, blah, 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 blah. The man is basically about to be assassinated for America. The man isn't even running for his own benefit. Trump's not even running for his own benefit. He didn't get money when he was president from being president. He declined the money. He's not making any more money once he left being a president. He doesn't have to run. He's already a billionaire, and yet people are like, he's doing this for himself. No, he's doing this for us, the people. He's trying to fight for the people. God is really like, y'all, I am trying to fight for you guys because you don't realize how sick and wicked and twisted these evil people are. They hate you. They want you to own nothing and be happy. They want you to be broke. They want you to be dependent on them. And he's like, you know what? At this point, I have to use the foolish things to confound the wise, because those who know me will see what's actually happening around them. But those who are lost and don't know his voice, I don't know what to do for you anymore. I mean, COVID showed you guys, hey, pay attention to the Lord, focus on me, and I will direct your paths. But people got out of COVID and I guess went right back to being ignorant. I don't know. And it's like God's just saying, hey, from Trump, I'm going to have him expose how they truly feel about you, the people, what they're trying to do to America. And I'm going to get rid of it, but you guys got to trust me. You got to pray, do what I ask you to do, and be obedient. And he's like, there's not much time left. Like, I am the only one stopping all this. And we can have this stop for like a good 4 years from 2024 to 2028 if you guys just trust me. And so, like, God, when God comes back, which is Jesus for his second coming, he's coming back so no one shall perish. Because it already says in the book of Revelation that if he did not come back, the people down here would have been so wicked and so, satanic against the people here that no one would be able to be alive. Everybody would perish. And so that's because they're trying to put heaven on earth. Like, the people that are evil and wicked who are running this, the spirituality's wickedness in high places, the elites, all these people, the deep state, these people are trying to be God on earth. They're trying to play God here on earth and control the people. There is no free will with them at all. It's just like the basic story of God. The angels were up in heaven with God. They wanted to rebel. They got kicked out. Where did they come? To earth. And now they're trying to do the same thing here, but be God. They're trying to literally play God here. It's not even that deep. But I mean, it is that deep because we've been warned about it in the book. We're going through trials and tribulations, but hey man, if people don't see it, then they just don't see it. If they think Democrats are the best, they just think Democrats are the best. But yeah, man, I don't really see how anybody votes for Democrats. You know, I'm praying for Trump during this time, as the Lord continues having his hand over him, gets him the victory. Because I just keep thinking, like, when they had in the Bible 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine, I really do honestly believe in my heart of hearts, what I felt the Spirit was telling me, is that if Trump wins, people will have 4 years of plenty, meaning 4 years of the greatest years, if you take advantage of them, that you could possibly have. And after that would be 4 years of famine. And if and when Trump gets back in office, it's like, you guys are going to have to do what you have to do for those 4 years of plenty. And it's only going to be an abundant and plentiful year for those who are following God, those who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like I said, we all fall short of the glory of God, but God sees us through. And I can just see the moves God is making. He's like, man, I'm having to work not even overtime, because God's always in control. He allows the devil to do these things, to do these satanic and wicked, and let these people show their evil, because he even let Job, it even happened to Job. The devil had to come to God and say, hey man, I want to test your boy Job because he say he your best servant. And God's like, all right. And even when stuff goes wrong, God uses that for his glory. So yeah, man, I just wanted to get this off my chest about Democrats. You know, after they tried to assassinate Trump, I'm like, this has gone too far. And I just don't see how anybody can still support this party. And yet, even after the assassination attempt, people are like, oh, it was staged. Oh, Trump had the sniper to shoot his ear. Oh, people didn't really die. Oh, Biden, he doesn't really have dementia. The media is still saying, the media has even now said it's Trump's fault for pushing a dangerous rhetoric since 2020. And I'm like, you guys talk about Trump more than Trump talks about Trump. And Biden talks about Trump. It's crazy. But anyways, man, thank you guys for watching. Sorry if I ranted for this full 30 minutes. I don't know if you will listen to the full thing or not, but that's how I just feel about everything happening in America right now. And yeah, man, it's been your boy Chad, and I'm out. Peace.